Dear friends, for this heavy cargo transport, we've come to Jinjiang, Jiangsu. Let's take a look at how these 4 pieces of equipment are rolled onto the ship. This set of chemical equipment will depart from Jinjiang, travel along the Yangtze River channel into the East China Sea, then head north, and finally be transported to Panjin, Liaoning. These 4 house-sized pieces of equipment are the main focus of this transport, each about 22 meters long, 15 meters wide, and 16 meters high. The heaviest one weighs 370 tons, and even the lightest is over 60 tons. This time we will be using these modular transporters for the job. The workers arrived on site several days ago, but due to poor weather conditions recently, it wasn't suitable for transport and work couldn't begin. Generally speaking, when transporting such large cargo, work will be suspended if the wind force exceeds level 6 to ensure safety. Finally, as the weather improved, more cargo ships appeared on the Yangtze River, but the sky was still grey and hazy, making it feel as if the sky and the river had merged together. Barefoot, I walked back to the project site where the workers had already leveled the vehicles and were preparing to drive them under the cargo for lifting. The workers operated in pairs. One was responsible for operating the equipment, while the other checked for any safety hazards in the surrounding area. For this transport, 2 sets of 16-axle modular trailers were used, making a total of 128 wheels after assembly. Each tire can independently achieve a full 360-degree turn, so the movement of the vehicle group can be precisely controlled like this. Once the vehicles were fully inside, the workers connected the 2 truck cabs using a single hydraulic hose. Inside the cab there is a fuel tank as well as a complex electrical control system. After connecting them like this, both vehicle units can be controlled with a single remote control. This is the remote control for the entire vehicle unit. It looks complicated, and in fact it really is not simple at all. After the technician finishes the adjustments, the lifting operation can officially begin. Wooden planks are placed on the truck to prevent damage to the equipment and cargo, while also increasing friction to ensure the equipment remains stable. Once the truck bed is raised to touch the equipment, the workers start securing and reinforcing the cargo to prevent any instability during transport. A chain hoist is used for reinforcement. With every turn, the safety factor increases. This is the tool that was just used, and it actually feels quite hefty in hand. After all the preparations are complete, the equipment officially begins its shipment. Since roll-on roll-off operations are closely tied to the tides and can only proceed at high tide, these pieces of equipment will have to rest on the bridge for a while. As the cargo is being transferred to the bridge, the tide gradually begins to cover the shore. The tide arrives right on time, and the transportation is proceeding according to plan. Once the tide rises to a safe level, the cargo ship also begins to dock at the pier. Taking advantage of this time, our technicians and the dock workers start laying down steel plates to connect the pier and the cargo ship. Every step of the transportation process is carefully calculated to prevent any issues from arising along the way. In no time, the steel plates have been laid and the forklift takes the lead, testing the strength of the plates. Once the cargo ship is level with the dock, the equipment begins to be rolled onto the ship. During the operation, the team has to stop every few meters, waiting for the ship to adjust its draft in the water and keep the deck level with the dock before continuing to load. This step is repeated continuously until all the equipment is completely loaded onto the ship. After positioning, the team drives off the cargo ship and immediately begins rolling the second piece of equipment on board. They continue following the same procedure as before. The window of suitable tidal conditions for operations in a day is short, so transportation must be carried out as quickly as possible. The Yangtze River has a semi-diurnal tide with 2 high tides and 2 low tides each day, and the current tide is the most suitable time for operations. Due to the influence of the tide, the remaining 2 shipments were scheduled to be rolled on and off the next day. Rolling is not the only method for transporting equipment. For smaller equipment, lifting is generally used as well, such as for units weighing less than 350 tons. This time, the cargo ship used is a 100-meter-long deck barge, which, as the name suggests, is a vessel that transports cargo placed directly on its deck. In addition, we have also used hold barges where the equipment is securely lashed and then lifted into the ship's hold by a crawler crane or gantry crane for transport. When I encounter such a project in the future, I will show it to you. After several days of work, all the equipment has finally been loaded onto the ship. Our work here is temporarily finished. We will also immediately set out on our journey northward.